question? Okay, are you rolling? So you look like a smart person.
Oh, I hope so.
What's the origin of the tomato? Okay, do you know where tobacco comes from? Okay, so where do you think potatoes are from?
Potatoes, Ireland?
Tobacco comes from, I don't know, but I know Cuban cigars. They are really great.
Take another stab at it.
Stab at it? I would say the Mediterranean somewhere, Italy.
Europe? That's a tough one. India?
Tell us where you think peppers come from. Green peppers?
Green peppers from Safeway.
Okay. Where do you think potatoes come from?
Idaho?
Corn?
Yeah.
Farmers?
Like what continent?
Oh, what continent? Let's see.
Honestly, I don't know.
Vanilla extract.
I don't know.
Okay.
I do not know.
Aspirin. Aspirin came from the ancient Egyptian times.
No, you're all totally wrong. They're indigenous foods. Tomatoes are definitely not from Italy, I know. Potatoes are not from Ireland, vanilla is not from France, and chocolate is definitely not from Belgium.
And that's why we're here, to challenge people's preconceptions.
And it's always pissed me off that there's nothing in university, there's nothing in high school, there's nothing in elementary school.
And learn a thing or two of what my people gave.
Corn is one of the staple crops everywhere around the world. And now, just think about corn and the use of biofuels.
And continue to give our world.
Of course, you can see we're in trouble. The planet's in trouble, and I think that we have something to offer.
Hi, I'm Tamara Bell, and as we travel all around the globe, we will smash stereotypes, dig up distant and not so distant pasts, and tear down walls of ignorance.
People just want to know what the truth is.
It's not easy getting to the truth, but I know we'll figure it out. All we'll need is a little ingenuity. So, why a grocery store? Well, besides easy access to my favorite vices, it's the perfect classroom for today's lesson. Peppers, tomatoes, squash, and yes, chocolate, they're all foods we use in our daily lives, and they all came from indigenous peoples.
We can think about what are called for North America the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash, which for corn is now a staple all around the world.
And if you keep traveling further south, there's chili peppers, there's tobacco, there's varieties of different corns and other root crops. So it's quite amazing the contributions that they made to food of the world.
Everyone knows in 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue and pretty much introduced Europe to America. When he came back to Spain to tell the Queen what a good job he'd done in finding a water route to Asia, totally wrong but a good find nonetheless, he had all kinds of goodies with him. Gold, spices, tobacco, and food. It's a good thing the hungry sailors didn't eat it all up on the trip home, because that food revolutionized Europe. In the 300 years after contact, Europe has had a 6-fold increase in its population.
It was the contribution not just of the food, but also what the food could do for the other people and transform them. So it came to sustain large populations in places that probably it was not possible.
One of those foods is the potato. To tell the tale of this super tuber, we must go down 8,500 kilometers to South America, high in the Peruvian Andes. That's where we'll find Machu Picchu. The only thing that matches Machu Picchu's beauty is its mystery. Sitting 8,000 feet above sea level, American explorer Hiram Bingham only discovered it in 1911, and today we still have much to learn of its secrets.
Well, what we see in Machu Picchu today, we still have a lot of questions about from the architecture, from how the rocks were moved to the area, and what happened to the people that live in these areas.
It's in these mountains the potato first sprouted, and today Quechua farmers have 4,000, yep, that's right, different varieties of potatoes to choose from.
You walk into a farmer's field today, and they can pull out from their plots 150 different varieties of potato. Quite a difference to what we see in our stores here. We may see 3 or 4.
And many scientists think the potato is one more of this city's ancient mysteries. One of the most awesome aspects of this mountain city is its terraces. Hundreds of them line the mountainside, sharp cuts in its rocky face. They stretch for miles, and it's a stretch of the imagination to think why the practical Incas made them, so small and hard to reach. But some experts think Machu Picchu was not a religious or military installation, but an agricultural hub. They say the ancient builders laid the small terraces at different altitudes on purpose, positioning them to receive sunlight at different angles and times of the day. Their theory? They were ancient plant-growing science experiments.
The system that was developed by the people is not just the terraces, it's the irrigation systems, the knowledge about the different seeds and crops that could be planted in different areas. It was about the slope of the particular mountain, and this technology is still alive.
I think that one of the things that we tend to forget about people that lived here thousands of years ago was just how tied they were to the land and how they knew the land so completely and thoroughly.
If we know so little about where our food comes from, what else are we missing? At the Museum of Anthropology in Vancouver, you'll learn it's really the knowledge of an entire way of life.
Fantastic, let's go have a look.
A life lost in history.
So what can we learn today about how Indigenous people use things in their environment?
Well, I think most particularly that there wasn't waste. And the fact is that they had a common sense working ethic, that the material that was used, every component was looked at as where it could be part of their society, part of their functional needs in that.
It's that culture of using and respecting the world around them that helped us to the modern age.
And the actual hook that was designed by people on the coast is still actually used today in modern fishing fleets.
People like Picasso, I just remember reading about it and looking at it and being impressed that these guys would actually take the time to actually look at Northwest Coast art.
The suffrage vote came from that. Like, women were inspired that Native women actually had a vote.
And will help keep us for the ages to come.
It's actually in their DNA to protect Mother Earth.
This is the story of my people, but it's also the story of the history we all share. It's an amazing journey where you'll learn a little bit about the true origins of our world and a lot about each other.
Hey, you're watching Ingenuity on CBC.